Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Laura. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and stick around a while and become part of our cooking community here. Just hit the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell and you will be notified every time I upload a video. If you are already subscribed, thank you for being here and for your support. Today I am sharing with you a very tasty fall-inspired glazed apple cake that I just love, and it's right here. I haven't cut into it yet. As always, I will have the recipe listed in the description box below. Any items that I mention in the video will also be in the description box below. If you have any questions about the recipe, leave it in the comments below. So without further ado, let's get started with the recipe. Okay guys, for the recipe for the glazed apple cake, the first thing that we're going to do for the recipe, I will list the recipe in the description bar below, so I'm going to go kind of quick with the ingredients. We're going to take our flour, and we're going to take our salt, our nutmeg, our cinnamon, and our baking soda, and we're going to mix it to make sure everything gets incorporated. And then we're just going to set this aside and start beating the sugar with the oil. I should have got a bigger bowl, but that's just like me. Okay, that should do it. Okay, we're going to set this aside. Okay, so we are going to add our sugar, our oil, our brown sugar. Okay, we're going to beat this until very smooth. Okay, we're going to stop it and scrape down everything to make sure there's nothing stuck at the bottom. And we're going to add the eggs one at a time. Okay, we're going to scrape everything down, and as you can see, this is very creamy, has like a caramel color now, but I just want to make sure I scrape the bottom of the bowl and that there's no sugar stuck at the bottom. Now we are going to add our vanilla, and we are going to start adding the flour a little bit at a time. Okay, we're going to put about 3 spoons at a time. And start off slow so you don't get a bath. Okay, and then you just keep adding. Okay, now that that's incorporated, you can see it's getting thick. We are going to add our apples and our pecans. And I already have the oven preheating to 350 degrees. Okay, now we're going to add our apples that I finely chopped. And you can throw them in all at once. It's up to you if you want to go a little bit at a time. We'll just go a little bit at a time. There we go. Let me bring this over a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And then we're going to add our pecans, which you can just throw in there all at once. Okay, now we're going to throw in our pecans. And if you don't like pecans and you don't want to add nuts, just leave them out. Or if you want to add walnuts or almonds, that's totally up to you. Okay, let's give this a good mix. And that's it. We're just going to scrape everything down, and I'm going to show you the pan, the baking pan that I'm going to use. Okay guys, I went to get my Super Duty spatula that I love to use for these thicker batters because they don't bend or fold, and you can really get into your batter with. I will link them below so you'll know where to find them. I get them off of Amazon. I am going to use a 9 1/4 by 13 1/4 inch pan, glass baking dish. It doesn't have to be glass. I did line it only because I'm going to put it on something else, but you don't have to line it. Okay, you can just leave it as is. Just make sure to grease your pan really well so that your cake can come out real easily. Normally when I make this, I put the glaze on it and I cut it in the pan, but today I'm going to do something else. So what we are going to do is we're just going to pour all of this in here and spread it out as evenly as we can. Okay, and what I do is I take an offset spatula and just try to even it out as much as I can. And while this is baking, we are going to start on the sauce. And this bakes for approximately 50 to 60 minutes. But everybody's oven is different, so make sure you check your cake to make sure they're not burning. You may want to check them starting at about 45 minutes, but I know mine will take exactly 60 minutes. Okay, I think that's it. But as even as we're going to get it, doesn't have to be perfect. That's why it's homemade. Okay, guys, this is it. It smells delicious just the way it is. Okay, I'm going to pop it in the oven and I will be back. We're going to start the sauce while we're waiting for the cake to cook. Okay guys, while we're waiting for our apple cake to come out of the oven, we're going to start our sauce. A very easy caramel sauce. What we're going to do is we are going to add 1 stick of butter. Oops, that was a little too hot. And we're going to let that melt. And we are going to add our sugars. So I'm going to drop it in there to cool this temperature down a little bit. Okay, we're going to add our brown sugar. We're going to add some heavy cream and a pinch of salt in just a little bit when this melts down a little bit. We're going to give this a whisk. Okay, now you can see this is starting to bubble a little bit. You do not want to leave this unattended because this will burn on you and will start bubbling over. So don't leave this unattended because it just takes a few minutes once everything is melted together. So we're going to let that bubble just for 2 minutes. Okay, now that that has come to a soft boil, we are going to add our cream. And be careful with this. Don't, like I said, don't leave it unattended. And then we're going to give it a good whisk. And at this point, you add your little pinch of salt. Give it a good whisk. Bring it all together. And this is actually a pretty large recipe for this glaze, for this caramel sauce. And what I don't use, I just put it into a mason jar and keep it in the refrigerator. You know, it'll hold up for about a week or so, and just add it to other desserts. You know, you can use this as a topping for some ice cream or on an apple pie. I mean, you can just put this on anything. Okay, you see how it's starting to come together there? Now we're going to let this simmer, softly boil for about 2 minutes. And we're going to take it off the heat. And look at that color that we get right away. Okay, I'm going to let that boil for about 2 minutes, but I'm not going to step away from it. I'm going to be right here. If it starts to bubble a little bit too much, what I do is I just pull it off the heat and whisk it. But this is ready, so we're just going to go ahead and turn it off. See how quickly it'll bubble over if you're not careful. You got to be careful with all this stuff in the kitchen. Okay, we're going to let this set for just a little bit. Let it get cold, and I'm going to transfer it to another container. Okay guys, the cake came out of the oven, and I've had it sitting up here for a little bit, but we did the toothpick test, and of course it came out clean, as you can see. And I'm going to let it sit here and cool for a little while before I cut into it. So I just put it on top of a cooling rack and left it in the baking plate that it was baked in, and I'm going to switch it over in just a little bit. So I'll be back after the cake cools completely. Okay guys, I cut out a piece of this glazed apple cake and it smells delicious. I'm going to give you a close-up so you can see what it looks like. It is delicious. Very, very moist. The topping of it is crispy. It stays crispy like that because of the sugar. And what I do with the caramel sauce that we made, I just put it on top of the cake. I serve it and let everybody just grab their own. Put as much as you want or as little as you want. And then it looks like that. Doesn't that just look delicious? Okay, I'm going to give it a taste. So delicious. Very, very, very good. Very fall. All the spices for fall, the cinnamon, the nutmeg. It just brings it all out with the apples, and the apples are very tender. And the caramel sauce is just so delicious with this. And this recipe, I have to say that if you don't finish it, or if you have too much of it, wrap it up in some saran wrap and then foil and put it in the freezer, and it'll keep, you know, for about 3 months, and then pull it out as you need it. But I doubt it's gonna last that long, guys. As soon as you make this, the family's gonna eat it up. Okay, guys, that's gonna conclude the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you give this cake a try. And if you do, come back and let us know how you liked it, and leave it in the comments below. I love to read your comments, guys. So again, thank you so much for being here, and go and follow us on our Facebook page at Virtual Kitchen with Laura. Talk to y'all later, guys. Bye.